Yeah, so a few people have basically said what's my opinion regarding South America, Central American countries. Quite frankly, South and Central America worry me, and it's just that it's got such a level of crime and drug cartels, and if you do read some reviews about South America and South American countries, you kind of get this feeling that they're really full on. The reason why I sort of say that, and I've said this before, is that when you're looking for a place to relocate to, you're looking for a couple of things that you want to keep in mind. One of those things is going to be the stability of the government, right? Because you don't want government instability like what's happened to Fiji with Frank Bainimarama, and or some other sort of dictator who comes to power, and then all of a sudden, you know, you have all these sort of laws change and investments, and it's just dicey, particularly if you've got a large asset like a house and all that money tied up. You don't want political instability. So that's one thing. The other thing that you want is low crime. And one of those areas, like, say, Panama or Ecuador, I think it's Ecuador at the moment has just basically put in a like the president over there has just basically declared a state of emergency, which is really what you don't want. So basically, he's activated the police and the military to bring about law and order to fight the drug cartels. That's far too much drama for me. I'm not interested in anything like that. I just want a peaceful life. The other one is Panama. Panama has got problems of its own, and yeah, I mean, you see this greater disparity between the rich and the poor. And where you see that greater disparity between rich and poor, you see much greater opportunistic crime. You have to be really careful of that, because that opportunistic crime could very quickly change your life. And it's not only the fact that you get your wallet or mobile phone stolen, or you come away bruised and battered, or even dead, but it really changes your opinion about travel. Going to change your perspective on things, and you don't want that. Who wants drama? I'm not interested in anything like that. Like, I'm walking around Athens at the moment, and I've never really felt unsafe. And I mean, sure, you got poor, but there's poor everywhere, but it doesn't have that huge disparity. So yeah, it's one of those things that I look for when I'm looking for a place. I want to see a couple of things, as I said. I want to see political stability. I don't want to see huge disparity between rich and poor. And I want to see a good sort of economic prospect. And for me, you know, Greece has got that for now. You know, people talk up and say, oh, Greece has gone through a massive financial crisis and collapse in 2014, 15, whatever. Look, a lot of those, that bad debt has been worked out of the system by now. And a lot of the regulations from the EU are sort of being put in play in regards to the economy. And it doesn't mean that Greece is going to have a massive sort of economic growth in the next couple of years, but it's certainly not completely dire. Whereas I think some of those South American countries don't have stable economies, they don't have good employment opportunities, and or investment or capital growth opportunities. So, look, it really depends on what's going to work for you. But I did have someone message me and they said, oh look, I want to relocate, I'm looking at South America, would love something like Panama or Ecuador or something like that. And you can relocate to Panama. I think it's about a $200,000 US investment in a property or some other sort of business, or to have a substantial amount of money come in on a regular basis for the rest of your life, like a pension. I think it's about $2,000 US a month. Don't quote me on that though. The cost of living in Panama is actually quite cheap. So if you are, say, on a lower pension, then could be quite a good move in regards to keeping your costs of living quite low. And I think I'm in a traffic jam. I have this ability just to manifest traffic jams no matter where I go. It's a wonderful gift and talent to have. So anyway, that's Panama. So Ecuador's very similar sort of strategy. As I said, they've just activated a state of emergency. I would not be going there, even if you paid me. Not interested. Not interested in Mexico, and I know there's other really famous, celebrities and YouTubers, etc., that have moved to Mexico. I don't speak Spanish, Latin, so yeah, it's not my scene. As I said, I just want a quieter life. What I do enjoy about Greece is it's sort of Eastern Europe. It's on the border there. There's lots of different beautiful holiday places around the Mediterranean. Great lifestyle, skiing in the winter, sailing in the summer, beautiful island hopping in the summer. Just a great lifestyle, and cost for me is not huge. The cost, I don't see that it's I don't think that it's more expensive than Australia. My wife says it's same. I don't think that at all. I think there's things that are here that are a lot cheaper than Australia, and property being one of them. So this is our bet for now. Long term, all bets are off, right? So no one knows what the future holds. The other ones that we're looking at the moment is Montenegro, Georgia, and Croatia. They're my sort of on the top of my list at the moment, and I'll be doing more research on that, and going from there, and I'll be sort of doing some videos on it. Just have to do some research on the economies, on political stability, on you want to know what their main sort of gross domestic product is, and what their currency is doing, and you kind of want to know what the hell is going on. I just got almost hit by this car. Bloody crazy people. So yeah, you want to do some research on this sort of stuff, and you don't want to just sort of go slap hazard and sell up everything and move to a country and buy a property, begin your permanent residency process. I mean, look, Ecuador and I think Panama, you've got, sorry, I think it's Panama, you've got a process where you get about 2 years of residency, and then you can apply for your permanent residency after that. So it's not a straightforward process, but you don't want to be in a position where you've dropped a whole heap of cash on a property and then you can't liquidate it. So just keep in mind those sorts of things. The other big one that you want to keep in mind is healthcare. And healthcare in Europe is actually, it's going to be pretty good. You'll need your health insurance, and I think basic health insurance here, off the top of my head, I need to do some research on it, but I think it's about €30 a month, and that'll give you basic sort of cover, save you from going bankrupt. So there's some of the things that you want to look at when you're considering your relocation. Consider your visa, what the visa requirements are, if you can meet those visa requirements, and then basically, is it going to be a safe place for you and for your family? And I suppose the other thing is do the values of that society line up with yours? You're going to have some level of culture shock no matter where you go, right? And that's going to hit maybe 4 to 6 weeks after you're there. And so be expecting a meltdown at some point, because it always happens, right? So don't think that you're going to get through that unscathed, because it's just not going to happen. So yeah, that would be my my sort of suggestion. I just, as I said, just don't. I don't like Central South America. I don't like the idea. I mean, if you were just buying a bit of a cheap bug out property and just as a place to go as a emergency plan, like as a third permanent residency, it may be something that you might look at, but it's certainly not something that I would look at in my top 3 citizenships and permanent residencies. So, and you know, the other thing, and I've said this before, we're heading into a really unstable time. You look at the supply chains around the world; they're starting to break. Food supply. You look at the shelves in the US. The shelves in the stores are pretty bare. And then you look at the potential geopolitical instability, particularly in the Asia Pacific and South China Sea. It's extremely high. So from a risk mitigation point of view, not something that I would subject myself to, because certainly don't want to be in a position where I have to bug out from my bug out plan, right? So there's a growing community of overseas exiles that are emerging. So go to overseas-exiles.com on Facebook and join the group, join the discussion, ask whatever questions that you need to ask. Everyone's there to help each other. Go to overseas-exiles.com or davelister.org, and yeah, they also set up a Patreon account, so you can, it's Patreon Overseas Exiles, all one word, so you can go over there and buy me a cup of coffee if you are so inclined. Be lovely to have some love. Anyway, guys, hope you're having a wonderful time. Don't stress, keep calm, be bold, and be consistent. And whatever you plan, it's what's going to come about. So be bold and consistent, all right? Don't stress, and we'll see you over here soon, hopefully. All right, guys.